Now, the news. It's not every week that I get to bring you something quite like this. Prepare yourself because we have something actually innovative here. The company is one I had not heard of before they reached out to me, called RideOut Arsenal, and the gun is called the Dragon. Soak this thing in for a second. Not only is it designed and made in the US? That in of itself isn't all that crazy. But what is a little bit crazy is the claim that this is the industry's lowest bore axis. Even lower, they claim, than the Logo Alien, which is really noticeably low when you're shooting it. This thing has a whole lot going for it. It has a 5-inch bull barrel chambered in 9mm that is fixed. The barrel is fixed. It has a sub 3-pound straight pull trigger, an aluminum grip that has a sort of really long gas pedal-y thing on the side. It uses Springfield Echelon mags, which are about $45 MSRP. The reciprocating part of the slide is very small, which means way less recoil being imparted by that hitting the end of its travel, but it's even more complicated than that. The core here is what they call lever-delayed blowback. And I don't recall ever seeing anything quite like this on a handgun. The top part that you see moving back and forth, they're calling that the bolt carrier, and the bolt is underneath that, I guess around the... I'm not really sure how this all fits together. It gets even more complicated from there. Even the nose of the gun is not your traditional shape, but rather an almost, diamond shape. And that has some whiz-bang stuff on it too, for attaching comps and silencers or weights with no tools. And it goes deeper from there. The fire control group is very small and considered the firearm portion of this. And what does that mean, boys and girls? Say it with me now. It's modular! It's modular! It's modular! This thing is flat out wild, and let's be fair. You know the next part is about to hurt. They're on pre-order right now, and the MSRP for a full kit comes with a bunch of stuff for $5,200. That's actually just a touch higher than the Logo Alien kits that are out there right now for around $5,000. This new RideOut Arsenal Dragon, the Rad, I'm just gonna call it the Rad, I guess. That's something that truly gets me excited. Yes, it's expensive, but holy crap, the outside of the box thinking here is just flat out awesome. I'm very curious to hear what you guys have to say about this, and if you want to see us review one, please leave a comment below so the company behind this thing will actually send it to us so that we can show you guys. We'll pull out the high-speed camera, and we'll dig into it and really do some science if you want. Welcome back to another episode of the Gun Collective News. I am John Patton. Hello, welcome back. It's great to have you here. We're trying to get this channel to hit 500,000 subscribers on YouTube, so please do me a huge favor and get subscribed, especially if you enjoy this kind of thing. It would be incredible to have your support and have you be a part of this community. Also, stick around until later in the show because I have a smoking deal of the week for you guys. Moving on, another low bore axis gun has a new version this week. It's the Chiappa Rhino. It's the 30DSX version, and it's in stainless steel. The X seems to indicate that the entire gun is made from stainless steel. That means it ends up a full pound heavier versus the aluminum frame version. For those that don't know about this gun, it's a 6-shot 357 Magnum revolver that fires from the bottom side of the cylinder, whereas most modern revolvers would fire from the top. This creates a more linear recoil path and makes the gun far easier to control. And then if you add a pound on it, it's going to be nothing in terms of recoil. It has a 3-inch barrel and G10 laminate grips. The MSRP here is $1,865. That's not cheap. In more special edition news this week, Ruger has introduced a new collector series. There are 3 guns in this collection so far. There's a Mark IV 2245, which is a blued 22 with a threaded barrel and special grips. Okay. That has an MSRP of $600, which seems like a lot for adding an inch of barrel and a different grip versus the standard model. They lost the pick rail and put the other stuff on. I don't know. Seems like a lot. Then you have the Super Wrangler with fancy grips yet again, interchangeable cylinders to shoot 22 long rifle and 22 Magnum. That's actually normal for that gun. And it has a 5.5-inch barrel. MSRP is $369 on that one. And the latest edition is the 1022 Sporter with a very fancy American walnut stock, gold bead front sight, which I love. Love a gold bead front sight, and an MSRP of $600. I mean, if you're really into Ruger guns, maybe this is a thing for you, but I feel like the special editions Ruger has been putting out in the last few years have all been very boring. I say bring back like the 99-44, which is a mini 30 that is in 44 mag, semi-auto 44 mag. Yeah, bring that back instead of this stuff. Moving on to even more new guns. Charter Arms has a new one called the Pathfinder 2, and it's a revolver chambered in .22 long rifle. Long story short here, these are affordable revolvers being made in the U.S. with a 3.5-inch barrel, rubber grips, and an 8-shot cylinder. It comes in 3 different color variations: black, OD green, and a stainless look. I don't know if it's actually stainless. The MSRP of $510 is the same no matter which model you pick. I'll be honest, with the prevalence of rimfire suppressors out there, I don't really understand the appeal of a .22 revolver. I suppose maybe not everyone can have a suppressor, so maybe you would get one. And some folks don't like recoil of like a full-size revolver, so maybe this is I don't know, whatever. There you go, something reasonably affordable. It seems like we have a ton of special editions this week, and this next gun is no different. Yet another one. It's from SK Guns. It's a Colt 1911 in .38 Super. This one has that classic high polish bluing with Kieranite grips. Looks great. And the gun is covered in 24 karat gold accents showcasing Miguel Hidalgo. This is another one from their Mexican War of Independence series. And this one is going to be a 200 gun limited run. I think if you're of Mexican heritage and have the money, it would be dope to have a full set of these. It would also be very expensive because the MSRP is $26.50 on these alone. I don't remember what the rest of them are, but it'd be cool nonetheless. And we have tons more new stuff to cover. So Izzy, if you wouldn't mind, fire up that minigun. It's rapid fire time. In new rifle news, Auto Ordnance has a new version of the Tommy gun they are calling a lightweight model, and it's called the T5P, with a P standing for polymer furniture. The previous versions with walnut furniture weigh a full 5 pounds more, where these weigh 8 pounds with the polymer. MSRP is $15.58 with the 20-round stick mag. Other more different mags, you get it. Thanks YouTube for ruining everything. They're available. You can get other mags that might be round. Just saying. Weatherby released a commemorative 80th anniversary edition of the Mark V bolt-action rifle. It's got a bunch of whiz-bang stuff like a titanium action carbon barrel, trigger tech trigger, and a drop-dead gorgeous walnut stock with tons of figure. Man, I love the way that thing looks. And it's chambered in 300 Weatherby Magnum. MSRP on the gun is $12,500. Good God. Yeah, deep pockets required. Special gun. Very special price. I give you a special price for these. Smith & Wesson got their crap together and released a new Stealth Hunter in 4570. This was previously only available in pistol calibers, and now you can do the modern lever gun thing with a big boy cartridge too, for an MSRP of $1,500. They also released a new version of that same lever gun, the 1854, in a more traditional setup in stainless steel all around, in 30-30 Winchester chambering for an MSRP of $1,400. I've yet to shoot one of these Smith lever guns, but they do look very nice. Wilson Combat released an anniversary edition as well. A while back, they purchased a company called New Ultralight Arms, and this is dedicated to Melvin Forbes, I guess involved with that company, who pushed forward lightweight, accurate guns. The gun is chambered only in .284 Winchester, because why be able to shoot it with readily available ammo? Am I right? MSRP is $5,000. Who is buying that? I would love to know how many of you guys out there are interested in buying a special edition gun. Do you ever consider that? Are you just looking at standard models? I personally love limited run guns. A bunch of these are very limited run guns, but I have to be very selective about what I grab. I'm not just going to grab whatever just because it's a special edition. While you're typing your thoughts below, let's hear from this week's sponsor, Wooks. Wooks just introduced their new vertical forward grip as part of their Vigilante line of products, And I gotta say, I'm really digging it. It rounds out the product offerings, and on top of that, it's actually functional. It also matches up really nice with their walnut M-Lock rail covers. If you use TGC10 over there, you'll probably spend a couple less points, and that would be great for you. I would love that for you. I really would love that for you. Big thank you to Wooks for supporting TGC. Let's keep it rolling with gun news. It's Friendly Fire time. If you want to ask me a question, put it in the comments. Use the words Friendly Fire so that I can go back and find it. I've got a few this week again. I like doing multiple questions. It just keeps things interesting. First is from Jonathan Berkey. Good first name there. And he says, when shopping around for discount body armor, what are some things you look for? I'm going to stop you right there. Do not buy discount body armor. Stop it. That's a terrible idea. That's like buying discount brake. Don't buy cheap stuff that's supposed to protect you. Buy the good stuff. It could literally save your life. There are tons of good videos on the subject out there. I would trust somebody like Mr. Guns and Gear or Tactical Considerations to give me the truth on that topic, given that they both have some real world experience with that sort of thing. Young Pistachio says, why should I have a chronograph? This is in reference to when I mentioned you should all have one last week, and you should have a chronograph. In my opinion, this is a great way to find out how your gun is actually performing and ammunition, and if there are any hidden issues with either the ammo or systems within the gun or whatever. There's a lot of reasons to have one, especially when you're talking about understanding longer range accuracy with rifles. We pull out a chronograph all the time at the range when we're doing reviews just to see the difference between types of ammo out of a particular gun. It's a wonderful thing. It's a great tool to have on hand. And now with the tiny little versions that you can get, like the one I had a deal of the week on last week, the reason for not having one is significantly reduced. And Diego Hernandez says, am I the only one to find gun prices in general just absurd? No, you're not at all. All you need to do to find solace here is look through the comments on this show. Just wait until like tomorrow, come back and look at the comments. You guys are always talking about how crazy prices have got. And I've heard rumors recently of more ammo pricing increases coming from big manufacturers. And I totally agree with you. This crap is out of control. It sucks. I don't know when it's going to normalize, but inflation is a monster that's been chasing this country for decades, and it's not going to get better overnight. I don't know the solution. I'm not an economics guy, but whatever. It ain't getting better anytime soon. My friendly fire question to you guys this week. How do you feel about the death of Charlie Kirk? What does it mean to you, and what do you think it means to the country? I want to hear where you guys stand on this. You know the drill. Answers below. Let's jump into some quick accessory news. Aimpoint released a new multi-reticle version of their Duty RDS RideOut sight. I think this is kind of hilarious because it's almost like Aimpoint is moving to adapt to the market that Holosun and other budget Chinesium brands opened up a bunch of years back. It's like worlds colliding. This one is likely to be built like a brick house because it is Aimpoint and they do make good stuff. It'll probably last forever. And I hope it does because the MSRP is $650. In other why the heck did it take that long news, Trijicon announced that they're doing a new green reticle version of the RMR Type 2. This one has a 3¼ MOA green dot and otherwise is an RMR. MSRP is $810, and yes, they are out of their minds with that price given that they haven't updated the optic in years. Everyone is going around them with interesting stuff. I like the RMR, I really do, but there are just better choices for most guns with an RMR footprint, especially at that price. Good God. I would also like to point out that green reticles have been a thing for a long time, and it's kind of sad to see how slow Trijicon moves to adapt to stuff like that. Goodness gracious. A company called American Animal Arms has a new rail for your rifle called the Lights Out Rail, and that is said to have meticulously engineered cable management and functionality. Long story short, they have a really fancy system for running cables down the rail and having them not catch on stuff, tuck it all in. It's pretty fancy. I saw it in person. MSRP ranges from $375 to $475 depending on how long it is and if you want an Arca rail on the bottom. It's pretty rad. Cool. They're a PA company. Pretty excited to share that with you guys. And CMMG has a bunch of new cans in their zeroed lineup of suppressors. The new ones include the 46, 46K, 36, 30K, and 5.56 variants. By now, I feel like most of you guys are probably familiar enough with suppressors enough to know what all of those are going to do. I don't want to go into all that with the numbers they gave and the K or not K markings. I'm pretty sure you guys have figured that out by now. However, I will say they are going to maintain the 17.4 stainless steel tubeless design across the board and the hub mounts, which is great. MSRPs were not given for these new ones at the time of the press release. However, the rest of the line is pretty well priced for rifle stuff at $550 MSRP, so I'm betting these are also going to be very affordable. $550 for a good can is great. That's rad. And speaking of affordable stuff, it's time for that deal of the week that I promised you. It's a limited time thing. Optics Planet has another smoking deal for you guys this week. Apparently you guys love the deal on that chronograph, so they decided to give you another great deal on 2 Vortex optics. First is the OpMod version of the Defender ST. MSRP on these is $449. It's already down to $217 on sale. And with my code TGC7, it drops it down to $192. Another $25 off. And on top of that, the OpMod version of the Vortex Strike Eagle 1-8x24 has an MSRP of $499 on sale for $266. But that code TGC7 brings that price down another $31. To my knowledge, these are the best prices on the entire internet for those specific optics, and they're doing this special for you guys. It's an absolute banger deal this week. I'm pretty pumped to share that with you. Feel free to tell your friends about these because this is a limited time thing, and if you want, whatever, go buy stuff if you want to. Also, don't forget to